Question number 13. Choose the correct match regarding early experiments on photosynthesis. The given options are: A. Green parts of the plants release oxygen, Joseph Priestley. B. The empirical equation of oxygenic photosynthesis, Van Niel. C. First action spectrum of photosynthesis, Engelmann. D. Evidence for production of glucose, Ingenhousz. So here many experiments were conducted for proving that photosynthesis is taking place in the plants. So like the plants are taking carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen, and which the exposed parts of the plants, that is green parts of the plants, are performing photosynthesis. Like that, many such experiments have been done to prove that photosynthesis is taking place in the plants. But the early experiments related to the photosynthesis is a first action spectrum of photosynthesis by Engelmann is a early experiments on photosynthesis. So from the given options, option C is the correct answer. Question number 14. Photophosphorylation is a process in which the given options are: A. Light energy is converted into chemical energy in the form of ATP. B. NADP is formed. C. Chemical energy is used to produce ATP. D. Carbon dioxide is reduced to a carbohydrate. So here this question is related to photophosphorylation. So this is a process which takes place during the light reaction, where phosphorylation means formation of ATP molecule, and photo, that is in presence of light ATP is produced. So here simply to say, the solar energy or the light energy that is trapped by the photosynthetic pigments, so that the photosynthetic pigments will trap that light energy, and that light energy is converted into the chemical energy. This chemical energy form, which is produced inside the plants in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate molecule. So this is a way how the light energy is converted into the chemical energy form, that is called as ATP. So here in the photophosphorylation also we are saying that ATP is formed and in presence of light. In presence of light means the solar energy or the light energy is trapped to convert that into the chemical energy form. So from the given options, option A is the correct answer for this question. Question number 15. In photosynthesis, oxygen is liberated due to, the given options are: A. Reduction of carbon dioxide. B. Hydrolysis of carbohydrate. C. Photolysis of water. And D. Breakdown of chlorophyll. So here this is a question related to the light reaction. Actually in the photosynthesis, as we have discussed, that the light reaction is taking place. Apart from that one, the carbon dioxide fixation, that is the second step, will be taking place. So here in photosynthesis light reaction, first thing is the water molecule will undergo oxidation to produce oxygen. So as this is a step which is taking place in presence of light, so the splitting of water will be taking place. That is what we call it as a lysis, and that is taking place in presence of light. So we call it as photolysis of water molecule. So the photolysis of water molecule is taking place with the help of a special complex called as oxygen evolving complex. So oxygen evolving complex is the one which is helping in this process, which contains manganese and chloride molecules. So here water molecule will split into half oxygen molecule when they will release 2 electrons and 2 proton molecules. So already we had discussed that the electrons that have been lost by the photosystem 2 will be compensated by the electrons that are being released by photolysis of water. So here in this light reaction, oxygen is liberated due to photolysis of water. That is the first step of a photosynthetic process. So from the given options, option C is the correct answer. Question number 16. The first event in photosynthesis is, the given options are A. Synthesis of ATP, B. Photoexcitation of chlorophyll molecule, C. Photolysis of water, and D. Release of oxygen. So here this is also the we say that light reaction is the first step related to photosynthesis. In that also, what is the first event of photosynthesis? So first what happens, the chlorophyll molecule will get excited. So that is actually the chlorophyll molecule will be in the ground level when it will take up the solar energy that is present in the reaction center of photosystem 2. Photosystem 2 reaction center, that is what we call it as a P680 molecule. So this P680 is nothing but which is made up of chlorophyll A molecule. So here this chlorophyll A molecule, first it will get excited or will get excited because of the wavelength of light at around 680 nanometers. So that is whenever this reaction center is taking the solar energy at 680 nanometers, so the chlorophyll molecule get excited. That is what we call it as a photo excitation of chlorophyll A will be taking place. And whenever the photo excitation is taking place, so at that level what happens, the chlorophyll molecule is represented as chlorophyll A with star mark, and in the process the electron will be lost. The loss of electron will be compensated by the next step, that is called as photolysis of water. Already we had seen the earlier questions. So the first event in the photosynthesis is the photo excitation of chlorophyll molecule. That is the correct option is B. Question number 17. Mole's experiment demonstrate that, the given options are A. Water is necessary for photosynthesis, B. Carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, C. Oxygen is necessary for photosynthesis, and D. Chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. So in the mole's half-life experiment, and leaf which is attached to the plant, that is taken a potted plant, and the half part of the leaf will be kept inside the bottle, and that bottle had to be closed with a rubber stopper. And inside this one the iodine will be taken. So that is the way how this mole's half-life experiment will be conducted. And initially some sort of carbon dioxide will be present inside this bottle, but after some time the carbon dioxide will get exhausted. So it had to be kept for few hours, and after that when we remove this bottle from here, we can observe that only the exposed part will be green in color and perform photosynthesis. That is, it contains a photosynthase also. Whereas here this inner part which is kept inside this bottle will be acting as non-photosynthetic in their nature. Why? Because for photosynthesis they require one of the raw material as a carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is completely exhausted inside this bottle. That's the reason why the availability of carbon dioxide is not there. When the availability of carbon dioxide is not there, the plants cannot, that part of the plant cannot perform photosynthesis despite of presence of chlorophyll pigments also. So that the mole's half-life experiment demonstrate that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis process. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 18. Total number of kinds of chlorophyll pigments associated with PS2 in higher plants are. The given options are A 1, B 2, C 3 and D 4. So here this is a question related to the chlorophyll pigments. Actually there are five types of chlorophyll pigments are there. Those are called as chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D and chlorophyll E. Chlorophyll A is considered to be the universal chlorophyll pigment or photosynthetic pigment. So why we are calling them as universal photosynthetic pigment means because this is a pigment present in all photosynthetic plants irrespective of whether it is a lower plant or a higher plant. That means chlorophyll A is present in both higher plants and also in the lower plants. Whereas chlorophyll B is present only in higher photosynthetic plants. That means chlorophyll A and B both of them are present in the higher plants, but chlorophyll B is not present in the lower plants. When it comes to the lower one, so these are the one which are present in the algal members. That is in the Xanthophyceae, Rhodophyceae and such type of Phaeophyceae members. That is chlorophyll A is present in Phaeophyceae members, that is a brown algae. Chlorophyll D is present in the Rhodophyceae members of algae, that is red algae, and these are present in the Xanthophyceae members of algae. So here these are exclusively being present in the algal members, that is the lower plants. So along with chlorophyll A, but the question is related to the number of kinds of chlorophyll molecules which are present in higher plants required for photosynthesis. So as we know, total number of kinds of chlorophyll molecules are 5, but out of that only chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are the two kinds of chlorophyll pigments which are required for photosynthesis in the higher plants. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 19. For formation of one glucose molecule, a Calvin cycle circulates. The given options are A 8 times, B 6 times, C 4 times and D 2 times. So here this is a question related to the C3 cycle or Calvin cycle. As we had already discussed that in Calvin cycle, carboxylation, reduction and the regeneration are the three steps which are there. So here in the carboxylation step, the RUBP is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide, where one molecule of RUBP will accept one molecule of carbon dioxide, and this will be reduced to produce G3P molecules. So it will produce 2 molecules of G3P here, and in the third step the regeneration of RUBP will be taking part. In the 3 steps, one molecule of carbon dioxide is accepted by one molecule of RUBP to produce 2 molecules of G3P, and in the regeneration phase the RUBP will be regenerated. But in the process the glucose molecule had to be produced. So here actually in the reduction phase we know that G3P pool will be formed. Out of this 5/6 are useful for regeneration of RUBP, while 1/6 are used in production of the glucose molecule. So as we know that glucose is an 6 carbon molecule, that means and one more thing, each G3P is a 3 carbon molecule. That means to produce one glucose molecule, at least they require 2 G3Ps, or 2 G3Ps of G3P pool have to participate in the production of one glucose molecule. So if we take 6 as we know that one Calvin cycle means one carbon dioxide is taking part in the reaction, it will producing only 2 G3P molecules. But actually to produce one glucose molecule, so 1/6 means at least 2 G3Ps have to be used in the production of glucose molecule. This 2 G3P should be 1/6 part. 1/6 part means 2, that means a 5/6 part means it should be 10 G3Ps. So which have to be used in the regeneration phase. That means in total they have to be 12 G3Ps in G3P pool. As we are saying that when one carbon dioxide or one Calvin cycle is taking part, 2 G3Ps are present in the G3P pool. So that means one Calvin cycle will help in the formation of 2 G3P molecules in the G3P pool. But here to produce one glucose molecule, here we require how many? 12 G3P molecules. To produce 12 G3P molecules, how many number of Calvin cycles have to be operated? So 12 into 1/2, that is 6 Calvin cycles have to be operated to produce at least one glucose molecule. So from the given option, to produce one glucose molecule, the 6 times the process have to be taken place. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 20. The enzyme acting as both carboxylase at one time and oxygenase at another time. The given options are A. PEP carboxylase, B. Rubisco, C. Carbonic anhydrase, and D. ATPase. So out of these 4 enzymes, so we have to discuss about Rubisco enzyme. So Rubisco is the enzyme which is taking part in C3 cycle, that is in the mesophyll cells of C3 cycle, and also it is taking part in the C4 cycle also, that is in the bundle sheet cells of C4 plants it is present. So it have dual nature depending upon the availability of carbon dioxide and oxygen. It may act as carboxylase and also as a oxygenase enzyme. So here itself it is called as ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase enzyme. So that is, it is showing 2 natures. It can act as carboxylase enzyme, at the same time depending upon the availability of oxygen and carbon dioxide, it may act as an oxygenase enzyme also. That means when carbon dioxide concentration is more, so Rubisco will act as carboxylase enzyme and taking part in C3 cycle, that is photosynthesis will be operated. While when carbon dioxide concentration is less or oxygen is more, what happens is it will act as a oxygenase enzyme by taking oxygen. So when it is taking oxygen, instead of taking part in photosynthesis, it will participate in other process called as photorespiration. So actually to say photorespiration is a wasteful process where instead of producing the photosynthetic product, the rate of photosynthesis will be decreased. So here, as depending upon the concentration of carbon dioxide and oxygen, the Rubisco will be acting either as a carboxylase or oxygenase enzyme. So this is the one, at one time it may act as oxygenase or it may act as a carboxylase enzyme also. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 21. In a plant cell, which of the following pigments participates directly in light reactions of photosynthesis? The given options are A. Chlorophyll A, B. Chlorophyll B, C. Chlorophyll D, and D. Carotenoids. So directly in light reaction. So to be said, chlorophyll A molecule, which is present in the reaction center of photosystems. That is photosystem 1 and also in the photosystem 2. They are helping in converting the solar energy into, that is light energy, into the chemical energy form. So here, out of all the pigments that have been given here, chlorophyll A is helping or participating directly in the light reaction. So from the given options, option A is the correct answer. Question number 22. The primary electron acceptor in cyclic photophosphorylation is, the given options are A, a protein that contains iron and sulfur, B, carbon dioxide, C, FAD, and D, NAD+. So here this is a question related to the electron transport in photosynthesis process. So here electron transport is the one which is the major source for providing energy to the photosynthetic process. So here two types of electron transports are taking place. One is called as non-cyclic electron transport and other is called as a cyclic electron transport. So here in this process, what happens is in the cyclic electron transport, the only PS1 will be participating. The loss of electrons from PS1 will be moving through different types of electron carriers, and finally it is coming to PS1 only. That is, the loss of electrons in PS1 are compensated by the PS1 only. So here the photolysis of what is not taking place. So here the question is, when PS1, that is the reaction center of PS1, that is P700, whenever it is taking that solar energy at 700 nanometers, so it will get excited and converted into P700 with star mark, excited state, and the primary acceptor is the ferridoxine, that is an iron sulfur containing compound. So here from there they will be moving through different carriers and finally it will be coming to PS1 only. So as it is electron cyclic transport, because the electrons are moving from P700 will once again come into P700 only, and the primary acceptor here it is having the iron and sulfur compounds. So from the given options, option A is the correct answer. Question number 23. In an experiment, the carbon dioxide available to a C4 plant was labeled with a radioactive isotope and the amount of radioactivity in the chloroplast was measured. As photosynthesis proceeded, in which of the following molecule did the radioactivity first appear? The given options are A, oxaloacetic acid, B, PEP, C, malic acid, and D, RUBP. So here this is the one which is related to C4 pathway or C4 cycle. Here the primary acceptor of C4 cycle is PEP, which is a 3-carbon compound and converted into the first stable compound called as oxaloacetic acid. We can call it as OAA, which is an 4-carbon compound. So here the question is, that is the carbon dioxide which is provided is an radioactive one. That is the carbon dioxide which is labeled as the radioactive isotope. So here this carbon dioxide, so that is 1 carbon which is present here. So combined with the 3 carbons present in PEP and converted to oxaloacetic acid. So the first radioactive compound which is formed in the process will be the oxaloacetic acid. From there, of course, it will be moving to malic acid, and from there to the other compounds like PEP also. So the questions related to the first compound which is having that radioactive carbon will be the oxaloacetic acid. So from the given options, option A is the correct answer. Question number 24. Chemiosmotic theory of ATP synthesis in chloroplast and mitochondria is based on. The given options are A. Membrane potential, B. Proton gradient, C. Accumulate of Na plus, D. Accumulation of K plus. So here it is chemiosmotic hypothesis that was given by Peter Michel, scientist. So as we know that during electron transport system of both photosynthesis and respiration, so the proton concentration gradient is established on either side of the membrane. So that is when the electrons are moving through various types of electron carriers, the protons will be transmitted from one side of the membrane of the chloroplast to other side. In the same way, during respiration, the protons are moving from one side of the inner membrane to the outer side. So that is the way how the protons are moving. So when the protons are accumulated, so the accumulated protons will try to move towards the opposite side. So here the membrane is now impermeable to the protons to move from one accumulator side to the other side. So here they had to move through some passages only. That is what we call it as ATP synthase or coupling factors. So that is other concept related to that one. But here the chemiosmotic hypothesis is nothing but the osmotic concentration will increases because of the accumulation of the protons on one side. That is what we call it as a proton gradient. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 25. The oxygen that keeps us alive is product of photosynthesis. It comes from. The given options are A. Carbon dioxide, B. Carbonates absorbed from soil, C. Oxides of mineral elements, and D. Water. So here when you take the photosynthetic process, as I said that during light reaction, the oxidation of water will takes place. Oxidation of water means the water will lose that electrons and protons here. So that is what we call it as a water will split to form half oxygen, 2 electrons and 2 protons. So here whatever the oxygen that have been lost from here is the source of oxygen that keeps us alive. That is what we say that the plants will take up carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So the oxygen which is released from the plants is helping us to survive or helping us for alive condition, we can say. So that means which one is the source for that oxygen which is making us to survive means the water molecule is the source of oxygen that keeps us alive. So from the given options, option D is the correct answer. Question number 26. Choose the correct statement for the fixation of one carbon dioxide molecule. The given options are A. 3 ATP and 2 NADPH are required through Calvin cycle, B. 5 ATP and 2 NADPH are required through Hatch-Slack cycle, C. Photochemical reactions are involved in photolysis of water and phosphorylation of ADP into ATP, and option D, all of the above. So here it is related to the fixation of one carbon dioxide molecule. So let us start with the first option. that is already we have said that to produce one glucose molecule they require 18 ATPs and 12 NADPH molecules, and as to produce one glucose molecule, the Calvin cycle had to be operated for 6 times. That means 6 carbon dioxides had to be accepted to produce one glucose molecule. But as the question is related to one carbon dioxide molecule, so for 6 carbon dioxide molecules, the number of ATP that are 18 and number of NADPH2 are 12 molecules. So here when it is for one carbon dioxide, divide the 18 by 6, so it will be 3 ATP molecules and 2 NADPH molecules are required for fixation of one molecule of carbon dioxide. So this is the correct one. And let us come to B, that is 5 ATP and 2 NADPH are required through Hatch-Slack cycle. So here what is this Hatch-Slack cycle? Hatch-Slack cycle is nothing but C4 pathway or C4 cycle. So here in C4 cycle also to produce one glucose molecule, they require excess amount of ATP molecules, that is additional 12 ATPs are required when compared to C3 cycle. 12 means 18 already in C3 cycle and 12 are excess. That means total 30 ATP are required, and there is no change in the number of NADPH2 molecules. So the number of NADPH2 will be 12 only. So as we know that to produce one glucose molecule, the Hatch-Slack cycle should operate for 6 times. That means 6 carbon dioxide have to be taken part. So when 6 carbon dioxide have been taken part to produce one glucose, 30 ATP and 12 NADPH are been there. So the question is related to one carbon dioxide molecule. So divide this 30 by 6. That is for this process there 5 ATPs and 2 NADPH2 are required, and that means this is also correct. Let us come to third option, that is C. Photochemical reactions are involved in photolysis of water. Already we said that water molecule will split in presence of sunlight to produce oxygen, electrons and protons. These electrons are taken by electron carriers and helping in the chemiosmotic hypothesis where the proton accumulation is taking place, and which will help in the phosphorylation. That to be, we call it as a photophosphorylation, phosphorylation of ADP to produce ATP molecule. So this is also correct related to this one. So from the given options, all the 4 options are correct. That is answer is option D. All the above are correct. Question number 27. Which organism does not evolve oxygen in photosynthesis? The given options are A. Anabaena, B. Funaria, C. Higher plants, and D. Rhodospirillum. So here let's start with first one, that is A. Anabaena. So Anabaena is an algal member which will utilize carbon dioxide and water so that they will produce glucose plus water, and oxygen will be evolved because oxygen is evolved from water molecule. So they utilize one of the substrate as water, that's the reason why they will release oxygen. Whereas the second one, Funaria. Funaria is an bryophyte. So this also utilize carbon dioxide and water. As it is utilizing the water, it will release oxygen. And C, all higher plants. Of course, in all higher plants the same process will be taking place where carbon dioxide and water are acting as a substrate molecules. So glucose and water and oxygen will be formed. So here also oxygen will be released. Whereas the Rhodospirillum is an bacteria. So here the evolution of oxygen does not take place, because they will utilize carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. In place of water, it is using hydrogen sulfide. When hydrogen sulfide is used, it will release sulfur in place of oxygen. So that means it is not releasing oxygen. So from the given options, option D is the correct answer. Question number 28. Which of the following statements about absorption spectrum is correct? The given options are: A. In blue region, peak of chlorophyll B forms at lower wavelength than peak of chlorophyll A. B. In red region, height of peak of chlorophyll A is more than that of chlorophyll B. C. In blue region, height of peak A is more than that of chlorophyll B. D. In red region, peak of chlorophyll A forms at lower wavelength than that of chlorophyll B. So this is a question related to the absorption spectrum. So here absorption spectrum is the graph which is showing the rate of absorption of different wavelengths of light by different types of pigments. So here the red region height of peak of chlorophyll A, this will be more than that of chlorophyll B molecule. So from the given options, option B is the correct answer. Question number 29. Radioactive isotope of oxygen O18 was used to know the source of oxygen released through photolysis by. The given options are: A. Hill, B. Van Neel, C. Rubin and Kamen, and D. Hatch Slack. So here there was a small concept that had to be noted here, that is, in the photosynthetic process, the two substrates, carbon dioxide and water, both of them have oxygen in them, and in the process they will form glucose molecule, water molecule, and oxygen is released. So there is a confusion that the oxygen which is released in the process of photosynthesis, what is the source of this oxygen? Either is it carbon dioxide or water? So for to know that thing, so what they had done is they had taken the radioisotope of oxygen in the form of water molecule, and they come to know that, of course, one more thing, that oxygen is present in glucose, water, and also in the oxygen here. So here they come to know that the radioisotope of oxygen O18 was present in oxygen that was released. So that was the radioactive isotope which was used to know that oxygen is coming from water molecule but not from the carbon dioxide molecule. This concept was developed by two scientists, that is Rubin and Kamen. So from the given options, option C is the correct answer. Question number 30. In overall photosynthetic process, for one molecule of oxygen liberated, 8 light quanta are required and 2 molecules of NADPH2 are formed. Besides this, certain amount 1 or 2, the energy is also released along with electron transport. This energy is liberated as options: A. 2 ATP molecules, B. 9 ATP molecules, C. 4 ATP molecules, and D. 3 ATP molecules. So here for one molecule of oxygen liberated, they require 8 light quanta and 2 molecules of NADPH2 are formed. Besides this, the amount of ATP that are required for this one. So here when 8 light quanta are used, so 2 quanta of light are required to produce 1 ATP molecule. So to it is given that 8 light quanta have been used or produced here. So there the 4 ATP molecules are liberated in the form of energy. So from the given options, option C is the correct answer. Question number 31. Consider the following event in the photochemical conversion of light energy into chemical energy by chlorophyll during photosynthesis. 1. Charge separation. 2. Absorption of quantum of energy. 3. Ejection of electron. And 4. Transfer of light energy. The given options are A. 4, 2, 1, 3. B. 1, 3, 4, 2. C. 2, 1, 3 and 4. D. 2, 1, 4, 3. So here they had given some options here related to the photochemical conversion of light energy into chemical energy. That is the conversion of light energy into chemical energy. So during this process, what are the events that have been given there? So the correct events which are taking part here. So that is the first one is the absorption of quantum of energy. That is option 2. Absorption of quantum of energy from the light energy is taking place. And the second one is charge separation will be taking part. Charge separation. And third one is the transfer of light energy. And finally, the ejection of the electron will be taking part. So these are the 4 steps which are taking part in the sequence manner during the light energy converted into chemical energy form. The first one is absorption of quantum of energy and the charge separation, then transfer of light energy and ejection of the electrons. So the correct sequence is 2, 1, 4 and 3. So the correct option is option D. Question number 32. During dark reaction for fixation of carbon, the 3 carbon atoms of each molecule of 3-phosphoglyceric acid, that is PGA, are derived from. The given options are A. RuBp only, B. Carbon dioxide only, C. RuBp plus carbon dioxide, and D. RuBp plus carbon dioxide plus PEP. Okay, here it is a question related to the formation of a 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So 3-phosphoglyceric acid, we can call it as PGA. It is the first stable compound formed during C3 pathway. Simply to say, carbon dioxide is accepted by RuBp molecule to produce 3-phosphoglyceric acid. That means here the carbons, 1 carbon which is present in carbon dioxide and 5 carbons which are present in RuBp. So the carbons of carbon dioxide and RuBp will be present in 3-phosphoglyceric acid molecule. So here it is an 3 carbon molecule and 2 molecules of PGA, 3 PGA are formed from 1 carbon dioxide, 1 RuBp molecule. That means the carbons which are present in 3-phosphoglyceric acid are coming from carbon dioxide and from RuBp, both of them. So from the given option, the correct answer is C. Question number 33. number of carboxylations in C4 pathway is. The given options are A 4, B 3, C 2 and D 1. So here once again here we know that it is taking place in mesophyll cells and bundle sheath cells. In mesophyll cells, the primary acceptation of carbon dioxide by PEP, that is the first carboxylation is taking place here. The first carboxylation is taking place in the mesophyll cells and which is converted into oxaloacetic acid, which is further converted into malic acid. The malic acid will enter into bundle sheath cells and here it is undergoing decarboxylation and of course converted into pyruvic acid. And this carbon dioxide actually in the bundle sheath cells of C4 plants, the RUBP will be present and of course the enzyme called as Rubisco is also present. So in presence of this Rubisco enzyme, the RUBP will accept this carbon dioxide. Accepting carbon dioxide is nothing but once again carboxylation process. So here the C3 cycle will be taking place in the bundle sheath cells of C4 plants. So here in total one carboxylation is taking place in the mesophyll cells and one carboxylation is taking place in the bundle sheath cells of C4 plants. So in total 2 carboxylations are taking place. So from the given options, the correct answer is C.